Hey guys, One Collective here. My name is Clement.
My name is Gerald.
Gary.
John.
Elaine Wen here.
So what are we going to talk about today? First time home buyers.
There you go.
So John, tell us what is the first thing first time home buyers should look into before they even look at houses?
I don't think looking at your budget would be the first thing to know, because without budget you don't know what to buy.
So the borrowing power from the bank.
Yes, so basically you need to go to the bank, get a pre-approval, see how much you can borrow from the bank based on the mortgage, because what you think and what the bank think might be different. You think you can afford a house that's $1 million, but the bank probably think you probably will qualify only for $800,000. So the $200,000 is a big difference to buy a house or a townhouse.
Yeah, and it is best to get a pre-approval in paper also, because if you go to a specialist, they will only give you a rough number, an estimation. But once you put in an application and you have to submit in certain documents, then that's when they provide you an actual form, pre-approval form that they said they will approve you for a certain amount for a specific date.
Basically, calling your mortgage broker on the phone and say, hey, how much can I afford? Them telling you on the phone is not official.
It's
you
not
have
official.
to do it on paper, send in all the documents, get it. What
Since
else?
we're talking about finances and stuff like that, there's actually a difference between a mortgage broker and a mortgage specialist. What is the difference between the two?
Mortgage specialists do work for the bank specifically, for a specific bank. So they will specialize all the rates that they can provide you for that particular bank. But a mortgage broker is actually almost a contractor with other banks who provide, who can find different rates from different banks. Sometimes it could be charter banks, it could be private lending, from many sources. So then they can give you different rates, and they may be able to find you what you're looking for.
If there's complication at the bank, mortgage broker maybe sometimes can help better because they can do things not by following the book, because the bank has a very strict rules and stuff.
They know certain rules and regulations, different ways that they can. Yes, they can get the rates. Sometimes they could find a rate deal. Sometimes it could happen within that day or that morning. It's like promotion for mortgage rates.
Yeah.
And what's the pros and cons of working with a mortgage specialist or a mortgage broker?
Well, the mortgage broker has access to a number of lenders, so we have the benefit, if we go with a mortgage broker, of going with them finding us the best rate possible under our situation. Whereas sometimes with the banks, they only have the products that the bank has to offer. So it might be the products that RBC has. So it's up to the individual to feel who they're comfortable with. In some cases, for example, we had a potential buyer who had been with RBC since he was a baby. So he had his accounts for a long time. So when it was time for him to buy a house, he felt very comfortable going with Royal Bank of Canada. So it just depends on the individual.
And it also depends on what connection you have, right?
Yes.
Like, every bank or every mortgage broker, they're willing to give up their best discount, but only if you have the connection with them, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like there's also a factor of what your credit score is too.
Yes.
If you have a lower credit score or your credit is not as good, sometimes the charter bank may not be able to approve you something that you want. But if you were able to go to a mortgage broker and they were able to find you a bank or a lending sources that actually can give you much more higher lending value.
Well, basically, I think like if you want your mortgage to get approved, come find one of us and we connect you with a good mortgage broker.
That's correct.